Welcome back to Epic Film Sleuth. Today, we're diving into the action comedy spectacle, Back in Action, and trust me, this one's a roller coaster of chaos, stunts, and laugh-out-loud moments. Spoilers ahead. After years of serving as MI6 spies, Matthew and Emily decide to leave their dangerous lives behind upon discovering they're expecting a child. However, their past is not one to stay buried. 15 years before their retirement, the duo receives a call from M16 headquarters about their latest target, an arms dealer named Gore, who happens to be celebrating his 8-year-old child's birthday at his residential estate. Disguised as a French couple posing as arms brokers, they infiltrate the party with practiced ease, winning Gore's trust. While mingling, Emily discreetly scans her arm with a hidden device, lifting his fingerprint from an earlier handshake. With this, she gains access to a highly classified piece of technology, the EPIC key, a master key capable of leveling an entire city. Before they can make a clean getaway, an alarm blares, summoning security. But Matthew and Emily are no strangers to high-stakes situations. They dispatch the guards with swift efficiency. Their mission supervisor, Chuck, instructs them to head for extraction immediately and, above all, keep the EPIC key's retrieval a secret. At the extraction point, Matthew and Emily reunite with their fellow agent, Baron, who clearly admires Emily. Aboard the plane, Emily hesitates before revealing she's pregnant. Expecting shock, she's surprised when Matthew reacts with joy, immediately embracing fatherhood. He orders champagne to celebrate. But before they can toast, the flight takes a deadly turn. Emily, attempting to use the restroom, is blocked, setting off alarm bells. A flight attendant suddenly attacks, demanding the EPIC key. Matthew fakes surrender, tossing the device to create a distraction, and they fight back. As the struggle escalates, it becomes clear the entire plane is compromised. Emily disarms an attacker, but a steward fires a gun, missing her but fatally hitting the pilot. The plane spirals out of control, crashing into a snow-covered mountain. Amidst the wreckage, Matthew finds one parachute and insists Emily take it for their child's sake. She refuses his sacrifice, grabbing onto him, and they glide to safety together. With MI6 presuming them dead, Matthew sees this as their chance to disappear and start fresh. 15 years later, their lives are quiet suburban normalcy with their kids, Alice and Leo. Alice, a sharp, strong-willed teen, quickly catches inconsistencies in her parents' stories, like Matthew casually speaking Russian. One morning, Emily suggests a movie night with Alice, but Alice claims she has a study session. Later, dropping her off at school, Emily and Matthew spy on her, binoculars in hand, catching her kissing a boy. When Alice notices, she calls them out for their weird behavior. At home, frustrated by their strained bond, Emily snoops on Alice's computer, confirming her suspicion Alice isn't where she claimed to be. Using GPS tracking, they find her at a nightclub. At the club, Alice refuses to leave, flashing a fake ID. A cocky guy calls Emily a boomer and grabs her arm, big mistake. She smashes his head against a platform, triggering a brawl. Matthew jumps in, and together, they take down the scene with ease. When a bystander records them, Matthew swiftly deletes the footage. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you subscribe and notifications so you don't miss future content from me. On the drive home, Alice, more intrigued than scared, questions their skills. They claim it's from Taekwondo classes. She's unconvinced but drops it. That night, Emily reflects on the old days, voicing her lingering restlessness. Matthew reminds her why they left family, choice, future. To lighten the mood, he challenges her to a playful spar. Meanwhile, Alice accuses Leo of exposing her, but he denies it, though he's thrilled she's grounded. The next morning, they receive an unexpected visitor, Chuck. Matthew is stunned to see him, and Chuck explains that he tracked them down through an online video of them taking down some thugs in a nightclub. He also drops a bombshell. Baron, one of their former colleagues, is actually working with Gore and was the one who set them up. Chuck warns them that their home is compromised and urges them to find a safer location. Before he can finish speaking, a sniper takes him down. Chaos erupts as mercenaries storm in, unleashing gunfire. Luckily, the kids are at school, and Matthew and Emily manage to dodge the bullets and escape in their car. As they race to pick up their children, Matthew confesses that he still has the key he never actually handed over the real one during the airplane incident. He hid it at Emily's mother's house in England. Emily is furious that he kept this from her, but there's no time to argue. When a pursuing car gets too close, Matthew pulls a quick trick. He fills a Diet Coke bottle with Mentos and hurls it at their attackers. The explosive reaction sends their car skidding out of control, crashing into a truck. With the immediate threat neutralized, they scoop up their kids and head straight to the airport. On the flight to London, the kids bombard them with questions, demanding answers. In a moment of honesty, Emily reveals that her mother is still alive and that they're going to stay with her for a while. Upon arriving, the couple keeps their faces hidden from security cameras. Alice remains in the dark, struggling to grasp the situation. They discreetly board a bus to a secluded parking lot, where they steal a car under the guise of retrieving it from their personal chauffeur. Baron arrives at the airport, tracking Matthew and Emily through surveillance. Gore's men aren't far behind. In the car, Matthew and Emily tell their kids to turn off their phones to avoid tracking. Running low on fuel, they stop at a gas station, where the kids, suspicious, check their parents' passports and find different names. One even Googles their last name and discovers their identities belong to deceased individuals. Before they can explain, Gore's men attack. Matthew turns a gas pump into a flamethrower while Emily fights hand to hand, impressing their kids. They escape, but Baron and his agents give chase. To slow them down, Matthew shoots at a truck, spilling massive pipes onto the road. As the kids demand more answers, with no choice, Matthew admits the truth: they were CIA spies. Then Matthew notices his son's console still has Wi-Fi on an easy tracking target, so he tosses it out the window. They reach Emily's mother's house, where a gunshot rings out. Grandma mistakenly shot a bird, thinking it was a threat. Tensions rise between Emily and her mother, and Matthew steps in to explain why they're there. Grandma's companion, Nigel, warmly greets them, insisting the kids call him Grandpa. Meanwhile, Baron's team learns Emily's mother was MI6. As Nigel shows off his gadgets, Matthew confesses to Grandma that he hid the key on her property, triggering another argument. Emily resents her mother's absence in her childhood, while Grandma insists she tried her best. Unbeknownst to them, Alice overhears and quietly slips away. As Matthew and Emily search for the key, Grandma and Alice share a moment until armed militia infiltrates the compound. After retrieving the key, the couple hears a commotion outside. Rushing into the house, they are stunned to find Grandma and Nigel tied up, only to be surrounded by Chuck's men. To their shock, Chuck is alive. His sniper attack was staged to frame them and lead him to the key. After their disappearance, the agency blamed him for losing it, costing him everything. Now, he plans to sell it on the black market. Grandma seizes a chance, taking out guards with a hidden tranquilizer. In the chaos, Nigel gets shot in the arm. Matthew and Emily fight back, but Chuck takes the kids hostage and knocks them unconscious. They wake to Grandma scanning security footage. Using Leo's tracking ring, they locate the kids. Meanwhile, Chuck puts the key up for auction, demonstrating its power by shutting down the city's grid and opening a state-controlled water barrier. The auction closes at $250 million. Matthew and Emily storm the auction, fighting off guards. Baron arrives, revealing Chuck has been identified as the mastermind, and they need to work together. They finally catch up to Chuck, who immediately bolts out of the building with a couple hot on his heels. Chuck flees to the docks with the kids. Before they can get far, they're ambushed by Gore's men, guns drawn, demanding the key. The couple insists they don't have it, but just as things get tense, a sniper dot lands right on one of the goons' foreheads. Turns out, the shooter is none other than Emily's mom. Matthew and Emily steal motorbikes and chase Chuck. As he speeds off on a boat, Emily follows on another vessel while Matthew stays close. Determined to help, Nigel rams his car into Chuck's men, knocking them out. He recovers the key but struggles to close the water barrier due to his poor tech skills. On the water, Emily boards Chuck's boat, taking out his men. Chuck fights back, but Matthew and Emily take him down before diving into the water. The boat crashes into the closing barrier, sealing Chuck's fate. Back home, life returns to normal. Alice scores a winning goal, Nigel bonds with Leo over spy work, and Emily and Alice plan a movie night. Just as Matthew and Emily relax, Baron appears in their back seat with grim news Chuck is still alive. But Emily needs a new partner to finish the job, not Matthew. Instead, Baron reveals a shocking truth: Emily's father is still alive. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into epic films. And hey, smashing that like button really helps us out.